shit. It's the best side of the morning. Hey, what's up? Welcome to another episode of Lay Table. Today I have none other than my great educator friend, Ahmad.
What's up? How y'all doing? How you doing?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
I'm good.
Ooh, wee. Well, let's jump straight on into this thing. Well, let's welcome another school year. An untraditional school year.
Very untraditional.
So, go on and just jump on in there and tell us about your education experience and what you do, what you've been doing.
Okay. Well, my name is Ahmad, right? Born and raised here, Jackson, Mississippi. I've been teaching for about 4 years now. I've been working with kids ever since I was 16 years old, assistant coordinator in my church, youth coordinator in my church. So it just kind of just drew me to what my calling was, what my purpose was. I come from a family full of educators, so I think it's just rooted in me for real. But I was like, man, I ain't finna teach. I ain't finna teach. But when I started working at Methodist Children's Home in 2011 and working with at-risk youth, it was just, yeah, I think I need to go on here and do this because I needed the guidance, especially our young black men needed the guidance. So, yeah, I've been doing that. So I've been teaching middle school for about 3.5 years. I'm an ELA teacher. I enjoy what I do. Do I have challenging days? Yes, I do have challenging days, but I mean, I love it. You know, it's a calling for me. I'm very blessed to be in the situation that I'm in to help others, even though this year is a little
Untraditional.
You know, it's a little weird, but I'm getting acclimated to it. So I'm just blessed to be an educator. Really, it's my calling. So
It takes a special heart and special mind to become an educator and to be a male educator.
Mm-hmm.
Have you faced any type of challenges that a woman educator might have not faced?
I had somebody tell me, you don't know what you're doing. You think you're really built for this? Like I had my first interview at a school in Rankin County, and she was like, I don't think you're ready. She was like, you don't know what you're doing. I was like, oh, okay.
So how did you take that piece of knowledge?
It put fire under my ass. So I said, okay, so she playing with me, so I'm finna go ahead and go over here to JPS.
Yeah.
And they hired me right on the spot. So that kind of fucked with me a little bit. Cause I'm like, damn, like how can you? I'm a black male, you know, trying to be, you know, make an example and stuff like that. But it was just discouraging. So I had talked to my mom. She was like, I ain't raised you like that. So
Factual.
So I went to the next school district and got on immediately as soon as I interviewed. So.
Have you seen that person again?
Yeah.
And what did you say then?
Oh, I'm so happy for you. You know, I'm like, man, girl, man, you was the main one talking about, oh, I wasn't built for this. I wasn't ready. Even as an AT, I was applying for to be an AT. So that's preparing you to be an educator, basically. You know, teaching, you know, by yourself. So I just thought there was some bullshit. But I saw her. She was like, I'm so glad you're doing well. I'm like, thanks.
It'd be the ones, I'm telling you, the ones that try to knock you down, and then later they.
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah, that was kind of discouraging for me, but you know, I got out the mud and I'm still here. So.
Still here. So, with education and everything, what are the trials and tribulations of being in JPS versus have you gone anywhere else and taught?
I taught at Smiler Collegiate. I taught at a charter school last year for the first time. And the dynamics with JPS and a charter school is totally different. You know, with charter schools, especially here in Jackson, you know, that kind of spoil the teachers and students. But, you know, when I was at JPS, I had to buy everything. You know, I had some kids in certain situations where I had to help them personally, you know, with hygiene and making sure they have school supplies and all of that. So it was kind of challenging at first. But when I had went to the charter school, I was like, oh, we got it made over here, but the dynamics are totally different. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I had went back to the public school sector because I was like, that's where my heart is. You know, I just felt like when I left them, like I let my kids down when I left JPS. So it was a eye opener for me, how you can go from one dynamic to another and see how they really operate, you know, from a professional level and an educational standpoint. So it was a big deal. It was a real big deal. It took me a while to adjust because when you at a charter school, you have to like transition to a different phase to where you're doing a lot of scripting. You know, you reading out the script and all that. I was like, am I in a play or something? Like, we gotta say this every time. You know, when we try to indirect a student or discipline a student, like we have to do all these different like levels of like I don't know. It was just on this. It was just weird to me, and then you have to just memorize it. They'll come around and just observe it. Oh, you're not doing that right, so you need to do it over in front of the kids. I'm like, man, I ain't used to this.
Yeah, it's a time and place, and I believe, if you got to tell me some things, pull me to the side. You
Right,
should
don't
never
do it in front
recommend
of the kids. That's very
Yeah.
unprofessional. So I just feel, I had to go back to my roots.
And you know what? I like the fact that you say that because I taught in private school before I went to JPS. And even when I left the private school, my students were like, Miss Scott, you leaving us? I'm like, I have to go when I'm needed.
Right.
It's 11 other teachers just like me in my spirit here, but they don't even have one with my spirit in a particular school in JPS.
Right.
And when I did JPS, of course, everybody was like, you going JPS? I said, listen, I'm going to go where he lead me to go.
Right.
And I had some of the best times in my life, and I'm going to attach to any child I work with.
Me too.
No matter where I'm at, I'm going to enjoy my surroundings.
Yeah.
And the joy that I got from working with those students to be a light for them and for them to, I'm teaching history on top of that.
Mm-hmm.
These students already don't care about no history, but my kids went from, we ain't going to class, to other kids who don't even take me trying to come to my class.
That's how I was.
Younger students. I can't wait to get to the next grade so I can get to your class,
Yeah.
to be excited to learn about history.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I say you got to have that spirit in you. You have to have a different type of calling to be an educator, because at the same time, these students, they're going to be adults one day.
Mm-hmm.
And the impact as an educator you become to them is very vital.
Very vital, very vital.
And it is serious.
Yeah.
So as always, I commend you for just, following your passion and going against what others have to say. And for that lady to tell you this and that, that was what you needed. Because sometimes we can become complacent or comfortable and be like, okay, cool. And it takes for a little negative nugget.
Yeah. It hurt. But, I mean, stuff like that, just add fuel under my ass for me to just go ahead and get out the mud and just do what I need to do. You know what I'm saying? So that just really just put me in this whole mindset. Like, I prepped for this interview. I know I was going to Madison County. You know what I'm saying? I said, I want to do something different. I went in there, dressed to the T. I had a great interview. But she was like, to be honest, you had a great interview, but I just feel like you're not ready yet for assistant teacher. That's trying to mold me to become a teacher by myself. You know what I mean? So I thought that was kind of fucked up, but it is what it is now because I'm 4 years in. So.
Hey, and we're going to bigger and better things.
Bigger and better things.
So let's jump off the serious note for a second. We bump around each other in the streets and stuff. We love to hang out. Just, outside the classroom, what do Ahmad like to do?
Ahmad like to sleep. Ahmad like to eat. Drink. I be in these streets, but
Sidebar, you ever ran into some teachers out and about?
Oh, yeah.
That's one of the most awkward but fun,
it is
type of moments.
Especially when it's like teachers you don't really fuck with for real, and they be like, "Oh, what's up, Ahmad? Like you out? Yeah, I'm out." But I'm gonna do me if I'm out or not. So.
What about them parents you see out and about?
Hey, Mr. White, I'm gonna, so I'm gonna do that work. I'm like, you need to make sure your child do that work so your parent and buying everything else.
I remember my first experience in a parent out and about. Baby, I tried to hide my face. And he said, hey, Miss Scott. He said, can I get you a drink? Sure can. Sure can. We on them teacher salaries.
But see, them parents be showing you love when you out though. Like, no lie.
They
like,
do.
Especially for Teachers Appreciation Week, Christmas.
Listen, I don't even want. Now, when you said the different dynamics, my private school, the love we used to get, versus when we got to JPS, they still showed us love and everything, but it was a big dynamic. I remember one year I got a bottle of wine as a gift. I said, let me hurry up hide this. I got some stuff over the years, but man, them parents, they show you mad love.
They do. I love my parents from this charter school, from the public
school.
I love. I still have a relationship with them. I still check on my kids. I miss them though, but it
is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah, like I can attest to that. Like when you get to meet them parents and get those relationships with them, it helps mold and work with the child a lot better, in my opinion. And I always encourage new teachers, new educators, or people just scared to work with kids, I say the biggest thing you have to focus on is your relationship
Sure,
with
with your parents. Yeah, absolutely.
because parents still need molding too.
Right. Especially parents around our age, you know what I'm saying? Young parents, you know, the parents now, you know, ain't like how our parents were when we was coming up. It's a totally different ball game now when it comes to, you know, adaptation, especially like raising them, especially making sure they're doing their work and all of that. So it's just very, very vital for you, not for just you, but for our educators to build that rapport with your parents because you have to be with their child 8 hours a day. You have to build that relationship with them, you know what I'm saying? And some of our kids now don't have father figures, they don't have mother figures, so we are the liaison, you know, for them, so we can help mold them and train them and get in the blueprint, you know, how they can adapt and be educated and learn whatever they need to learn and all of that. So I love my parents though. They the truth. I keep it real with them. You know, I want their child to succeed because it's gonna be my fault if they not gonna do what they supposed to do. That's gonna be on me. That's gonna be on my conscience. I don't want it. So it's just really important to, you know, to build our relationship.
My pastor makes this comment all the time when he talks about education. And he said we spend more waking hours with the students or the children than their parents do. And that's a big thing because sometimes, you know, we can instill so much into them, and as soon as they get home, it can be kind of knocked down.
Yeah.
Sometimes that can play a major role or whatever and how impactful. So okay, I got a good question. With COVID and virtual learning going on, what do you think the mind frame of the parents is going to be at in a couple of months with having to kind of take on our role at home, but we're still physically there?
But to be honest, some of the parents are taking on the role now. To be honest, because we also had to learn to do the virtual learning, set up our virtual classroom, the Zooms and all of that. Then also we have to coach our parents on being, you know, making sure that their child is doing what they're supposed to be doing, making sure that they're logged down at a certain time. You know, but it can become a conflict because you got a lot of our parents now who are essential workers in the virus. They have to be at work. You also have, you know, kids who go to their grandparents' house and, you know, their grandparents not really internet and technology savvy, so it can be a big challenge. But now on down the line, I think once, you know, everybody get in the groove of things, like it can become better. But it's really a headache now, to be honest, because we still learning ourselves how to do the shit. You know what I'm saying? And we trying to tell our parents how to do it. They getting frustrated because they ain't really used to it, and then they got their own stuff going on. You know, and then some of our kids, you know, I got some kids who love virtual learning. I got some kids who hate virtual learning. But it's like this what's going to be the new norm for a little while. You know what I'm saying? Because at first, I ain't going to lie, I was kind of nervous about it. Because I was just thinking about the demographics of some of my kids, you know what I'm saying, where they stay and stuff, like with internet access and with computers. You know, we still got some kids who get these stupid ass, fucked up ass computers, you know what I'm saying, they can't really access the lessons or get on the Zooms and shit. So, you know, we still working through that, you know what I'm saying? So, I think we gonna get acclimated to it. I'm still getting acclimated to it because it's really like a big change for us. You know, because like after spring break shit, we was in the house for 5 months, really, still in the house.
Still.
Yeah. So, it's kind of, we gonna get through it though. But it's a little challenging, but I know we're gonna get through it.
It's a big challenge, and I know, and I'm into the area where I'm a school attendant officer now, so now you should see the emails, phone calls I get. Homeschooling has doubled already, and we're not even into September yet. And the inquiries of parents taking on that role, you know, especially private school parents, they like, man, if I gotta pay the same tuition to teach my child at home, I might as well go and teach them and everything. So it is a trying time, and it's going to take a lot of patience and understanding because we're all learning this at the same time. Yep. It's not even the parents and the students got to learn it. On our side, it's all the whole education system, not even just the teachers. It's the whole system.
Because guess what? We still got to do lesson plans. We still got to submit that shit. We still got staff meetings. We still got a lot of shit that we got to do too. So, you know, it's just, this corona just done fucked everything up. I just feel like I just still want my kids and all of us to be safe, but it's really a challenge, but we're going to get through it though. It's just got to take a little adjustment. Get through the shit.
Shout out to Zoom. They racking.
Yeah. Oh. Zoom done made some money for real.
They got some stock out there we need to collect. Because Zoom, I call my homegirl, she'll teach every time. girl, I'm on the Zoom, and I'm gonna have to call you back. And I
For
said,
real.
I just call it Zoom. Zoom and Google are the best friends of the education system right there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So it's, you know, I like a challenge, me personally.
Yeah.
So like even my friends that come, just they overwhelmed, I have to calm them down to make them
Yeah,
breathe
I'm the same way.
and say, listen, if you know good and you lose your marbles, what you think your students gonna see?
Right.
You can't show them that you
Because
bothered.
if your child see you sweat, it's a wrap.
It's
Right.
a wrap, and you do not want that. And with school starting soon and JPS, whole sidebar, I just wish somebody would stop having JPS just so they can get their stuff together. Come on now. But JPS starts soon, the other surrounding areas are starting soon.
Mm-hmm.
Some private schools have started, they just limited their intake, and some schools have like physical classes.
Like in Corinth, like they had all their kids in the school and they don't call Corona.
Well, I know some private schools have. I don't think anyone has got a case yet, but I know they've been very sanitizing. They've been keeping the distance. They only have so many students in the class and things of that nature. So prayerfully, I don't like to just put out no ill or negative vibes. I just pray that everything works out for everyone. And this is going to be a year. So let's get back on our fun side. We done tripped out and got back serious or whatever. So let's get back out into, you're a Jacksonian. You grew up here. What side you from?
North side.
High school.
I went to, okay, now this story about me, in Jackson, it's a little, I'm originally from the north side, Valley North, that's where I grew up. I went to North Jackson Elementary, then I went to New Hope Christian School, left New Hope, went to Powell for a year, left Powell, went to Old Town for a year, left there, went to Ridgeland. Then my junior year of high school, I moved to Baltimore, Maryland, came back because I got a scholarship to Mississippi State. I was going to come home anyway. Mm-hmm. So, graduated from Mississippi State, class 2013. I'm at Jackson State now getting my master's, higher ed. I'll be done next year, Lord say the same, which I will be done next year. I'm a Jew till I die. I just love Jackson. I love being from here. I was born and raised here. My daddy is from here. My mama is from Forest, Mississippi, but she moved here too. So, I'm a Jew till I die.
Hey, so it is what it is. So I know you got a story too with your mom being an educator, you being a student. I know you got one of the moments where your mom was like, I just know you ain't showed out like that. I know you ain't showed out like that.
Man, my mama ain't gone. I love my mom. My mama's a very, very strong woman, So she been teaching. She's a respiratory therapist, and she also has been teaching. She was teaching at the collegiate level for quite a long, long time. And she has really inspired me as well as my grandmother to really become a teacher because my mama was so passionate about it, just like my granny was. So, but I done had some chairs when my mama had to come to the school and get me together, you know what I'm saying? I done had some chairs to where, she done had to cuss my ass out sometimes, but it was all out of love because she wanted me to be the best of the best, and be the best that I can be. So I done had some episodes, 2 minutes to name, but
2 minutes. So we're going to do this fun segment I love to call 21 Questions, where I love to pick people's brains, and they get to pick my brain, for a change. So let's start off with this one because I get a lot of inquiries. What's the difference between a charter school and a public school?
Okay, charter school is basically a private school, but it's federally and publicly funded. Public school, we've been having public school for all our life, but it's funded by the state as well. My opinion with charter schools are very, very structured. They have a chart that they go by when it comes to education. I will say my charter school experience really taught me how to be a professional. It taught me how to be a good teacher. And it ain't for the faint of heart. Education ain't really for if you want to be an educator, it's not for the faint of heart. Either you big for it or you're not. But with public schools, it's traditional Common Core to me. But since times have changed, the curriculum has changed, so we're doing stuff different than we was, when we was coming up in school.
Correct.
So that's kind of the different, the different thing about charter schools and public schools. But it's a whole totally different dynamic because, JPS, you have some of your principals and leaders who have a sense of how they want to run their school. But charter schools are very, very, very in depth. They go by, they have their own common core, you know, grid or chart that they go by when it comes to education with the teachers and also with the students. So it's different.
Very different.
It's very different.
I couldn't agree more. I always said when people ask me what is a charter school, pretty much a free private school.
Yep.
And a lot of people don't know anyone can start a charter school. You, your best friend, and your mother can start a charter school, and that is the pros of it. Now the con side is, of course, the workload. Anything that's worth having and worth being great is going to come with some work.
Oh yeah.
It's going to come with some work.
Oh yeah.
So my next question is, what is your favorite grade you ever taught?
Eighth.
Eighth grade.
Eighth grade was my favorite grade due to the fact that, you know, kids really smell their ass when they in middle school. You know what I'm saying? They think they grown, but you know, that's the perfect time for you to, you know, mold them and be an example for them because they are transitioning to another part of their life, which is high school within the next year. But my eighth grade kids, I still have a relationship with. I had my best year at Cursey Middle School. I love all my Cursey babes. I love all y'all. Eighth grade was the truth. I mean, when I first started, they tried me now. But you know, you gotta let these kids know what they fucking with. But for real, I loved it though. That was my favorite grade I ever taught.
I can imagine. I think my favorite, which I was surprised about, was kindergarten one year. I was just surprised that I enjoyed it because when I started off Southern, that gave me a kindergarten class, and if I heard teacher, they touching me, I said I never get.
And I taught first grade too last year, and I actually loved it too.
Yes.
So I love first grade, but eighth grade was my actual favorite grade. So
yes. Yeah. Well, I mean, kindergarten was. I can't. You know what? Let me take that back. I can't even say which grade we love I like the most. I can't. But I love teaching. I love being in the classroom. I can't say that. So, you ever had an altercation with a student?
Oh yeah. I done flipped the table, flipped chairs. I had a student run up. I had two kids try to jump me.
Oh. Parents?
Two parents. But one was over the phone. You know, and she was just basically just trying to tell me that I need to have let her child make her work, but your child will sleep in my class and then do his work, so he gonna get the grade that he get.
He need to?
You need to change my child grade because my child gonna flunk if you don't change the grade. I said, look, that's on him and you.
See, that be the gritty side of education folks don't get to hear about by law because, you know, we signed that disclosure.
Yep.
But baby, if you can hear and see some of the stuff.
I done seen some stuff with my other colleagues. Like, I done had seen with my own eyes parents come to school and act an ass when that child dead wrong. You know what I'm saying?
They don't build these kids like us no more. Back in the day, we could be dead wrong or dead right. And our parents gonna still side with the teachers.
You hear me?
They call that house, they still gonna side with the teachers.
My mom and dad, especially my dad and my mama, man, I ain't played. If I acted up in school, like, it was a wrap. That's why I say it's just a different dynamics of how parents are. You know, you got some parents who do a damn good job. You know, our parents are great parents in my eyes. So you don't want to tell no parents that they ain't doing shit. You know, they trying their best, but I feel as though everything started at home. Because when it started at home, it's also a reflection of you as well as the parent. So if your child come in my class acting up, cussing all this shit, guess what they be doing at home?
Same thing. Okay. But you know, I take the good and the bad. I learn from it all. I like it. I like the ones that gonna cut up because it teaches me something.
Yeah, and them my favorite kids.
Ooh,
they're my favorite kids. They my favorite kids.
The roughest ones.
They your favorite.
How you just tolerate that child? Them be my babies. Them be the ones that sit up under me the most.
Mm-hmm.
When I left Wingfield last year, one of my two of them who I just knew couldn't wait for me to get up out there. Miss Scott, you leaving us? I said, But why? I said, I got different opportunity. I said, I thought y'all would have been happy. No, Miss Scott. I said, I stay on y'all like white on rice, but we need that.
Yeah.
Those were the exact words out of their mouths. And when I tell you, they almost gave me the blues daily. But the type of relationship and just the tactfulness I do have with them, they needed that,
Hmm.
and that there alone just touched
They
my
need
heart.
that tough love, you know what I'm saying? So I mean, I love my kids from the
Love them.
young, from the old.
I miss them though, and I try to keep up with them
Me
too,
too.
so they get back on track. So, do you have a favorite teacher, idol, or someone you aspired to be like, or you just looked up to?
Oh yeah, I have actually have a lot of older educators who I really look up to, but it's my aunt. She has a doctorate in English. I look up to her, and Miss Quitterware Breeden, who was at Kirksey. She's now moved up to a higher position in JPS. I'm very very proud of her, but she was the one who really like inspired me because even though she was tough, she's smart as hell and she just get the job done.
I
Like,
like
and
them.
if I need anything, I can call her. Like she we was cool. Like we still cool, and she's so raw because she just gonna give it to you straight, and I loved it. But she's so smart and she
Mhm.
know what she doing, and she been an educator for a very 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 long time. We both went to Mississippi State. You know what I'm saying? So that's how we kind of bonded over there. But she's an awesome person, so that's who I look up to.
I like that.
Yeah.
That is awesome. I love to just, hear these good stories and know about people that just do what they do and love what they do.
Mm.
It's a difference between just doing something and something like being a part of you and that's
Hmm.
in you. That's why I tell people, if it's not in you, don't do it. If it's in you,
Absolutely.
pursue it.
Yeah.
Pursue it. Do you aspire to, one day become one of them ones? Your students be like, it's because of Ahmad. I'm an educator today. Do you see yourself getting there?
Yeah, I had one of my kids. Oh, I'm gonna be a teacher like you, Mr. White. I said you can do whatever you put your mind to. No, no. I always tell my kids, don't ever let nobody tell you what you can't do.
But you can't do.
You know what I'm saying? Because they handle a lot of our little young black kings today. They so used to motherfuckers telling them what they can't do, and they ain't gonna be shit and all this. Coming from the households they get. I always tell them never limit yourself. The sky is more than a limit. You know what I'm saying? So you do whatever you put your mind to. If you want to go to college, you can go to college. I know college ain't for everybody. I tell them that if you want to go get a trade, you know what I'm saying, just follow your dreams. But faith without works is dead. So you got to put in the work if you want to achieve something. So,
Factual. I
yeah.
always encourage my students to get outside their environment.
Me too.
Me being a native of another state and city, I had to get out of my environment in
Oh
order
yeah.
to, for me to, my opinion, to become successful as I am,
Mm-hmm.
quote unquote. When I do the statistics on my classmates versus now, 100 and some graduated then, and probably 20 of us probably graduated college. That was a sign that I felt like I was on the right path to get out of my environment. And I come down south and I'm with all my classmates from the Lou, like everybody doing something
Good.
to our knowledge or whatever. And sometimes we get out your environment, you're not gonna grow if you don't, because just like a plant, it can start off in a pot. But you have to take that pot, and anybody that plants or do gardening, sometimes you got to take it out of that and go bury it again,
Mm-hmm.
something else, so it can expand. So those are things, I try to be someone that I know I needed at that age. And I know that's what education is about. It's more than just the curriculum. Education has so much more to do about your spirit, about your mind frame, and what else can you instill in these children besides the arithmetic. You
Right.
have to instill their future. I look at their future when I look in their eyes.
Because we gotta put that blueprint down for them. You know what I'm saying? And it's just being an educator. You learn something every day,
Every
every
day.
day. And I just take that with pride because it helps me grow as not only as an educator but as a black man educator. It's only 5% of us African American males who are educators.
Say them numbers again.
5%.
5.
5% of black males who are educators. So it's just it's a lot riding on us because I feel like black men in education, we up next. You know what I'm saying? Because I do personally feel like we need more black men in the education system. Like I really feel as though, we millennials, it's time out for the traditional shit. You know what I'm saying? Shit been changing. You know, if
And
you built forward, you built forward. If you're
I
not, you're not.
like that you say that, because most male that go into education are either coaches, or some of them strive all the way to become principals.
Mm-hmm.
But to actually get more men to become on that side, because these young men and young women need more positive male role models in their lives, because the dynamics of the home is not the same as it was for us.
Right.
So we don't need the males in there, just, I ain't gonna just say, because there's women out there that just do crazy stuff too, but we need more men that's gonna be more about the upbringing and uproot of the child versus, the old back in the day type stuff that men so-called would do, or this and that. We just time out for that. So let's jump into what is one pro and one con about being an educator in the state of Mississippi.
That's a good question. The pro is that once you're an educator in Mississippi, I feel like you can go anywhere to be an educator. Anywhere. The con is the pay. That's the con. I don't do it personally for the money. I do it because this what I love to do. But I just feel like if we had more funding, everybody can benefit, you know what I'm saying? Because all of us have families, all of us have personal shit we got going on, you know what I'm saying? That's really the only con. I also feel like here in Mississippi it's just all about politics, you know what I'm saying? And that's what makes it difficult for us educators here in Mississippi, because, this whole COVID situation really showed me how politics are a major factor when it comes to education here with the coronavirus. So I would say that's really politics too is a con too when it comes to Mississippi. But like I said, people, if you don't live in Mississippi or work in Mississippi or been an educator in Mississippi or anything, you can do anything you want to be in the world, like anything.
And the bright side of that is not only our state or us as being natives here, that's anywhere. Some people like me being a native of Chicago, I tell anybody, you can survive that jungle.
Oh yeah,
you can survive anywhere. And if we all just get together and understand we're all surviving the same struggles and same battles, because best believe it, we ain't getting no funding. Well, it's a lot of old money here. People think Mississippi poor. No, it's just
it's some money here.
It's some old money. I'd rather sit in the state with some old money, honestly, than no money.
That's the money the whole way anyway. The old money does. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
that's what's popping right now.
So what you got? You leaving us here. Little birdie told me. So
yeah.
How is that for you? What's this transition you hoping it to be like?
I just want to elevate, man. I'm really a nervous wreck.
Don't be.
But I need to do this for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm moving to Greenville, South Carolina next week, and it's something that I've been battling for a couple of years now. I'm just getting out and just venturing out. You know what I'm saying? Because all of my friends, I have friends in Atlanta, I have friends in Texas, I have friends all over, but since my mom is up there, she got a bomb-ass job up there, so I'm like, maybe I should just go and just check it out. So when I went up there, I just fell in love with it. So I'm like, yeah, I need to go ahead and make this transition. So yeah, I'm moving. I'll be back Thanksgiving, Christmas, but I gotta do this for me. You know what I'm saying? So.
You think it's gonna be a culture shock?
But you know what though? It kind of remind me of Birmingham or Atlanta a little bit though. Like it's a lot of shit popping in Greenville. Plus I'm an hour and 30 minutes away from Atlanta.
I think that's the main reason why you because you know they're all there out. Well, that's a nice little pro to it, you know.
Yeah, but I just really want to just put myself in a situation to where I want to just start off fresh and be uncomfortable, so I can just really flourish. You know what I'm saying? So that's really my thing. I just want to see myself, just be in an environment where I don't know nobody. See how can I just really just get out the mud and just be. Yeah.
You're gonna do great in mine. I already know you're gonna do great, and I can see you come if you do decide to move back in a couple of years or have.
Cause home always gonna be here. Home is home. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm gonna value Mr. Jackson. I'm gonna value Mississippi so much. When I move, you know what I'm saying? But I just gotta see myself in another environment so I can just really just see who the real. I know who the real Ahmad is, but like when you go to another environment, you know what I'm saying? When you don't know nobody, this gonna be a little. I ain't gonna say it's gonna be a struggle, but it's gonna be a test.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a little test, so I'm kind of excited though.
I'm ready
I'm
to hear
nervous though.
Look, I'm ready to hear the commentary about you from Jackson, Mississippi. I already like when I go places, I just don't rep Jackson.
Man, when I went up there, they were like, man, where you ain't from here. You country. I'm from Jackson, Mississippi. So they were like, damn, what made you come up here? So yeah,
That's
it's just
commentary. You from Jackson?
every time when I was in the mall and stuff up there, they were like, where you from? I'm from Jackson. They were like, you so country. Like,
but you know what? It don't even be the country factor for me that people be amazed with. It be the way we carry ourselves.
Right.
Like even when I go back home, they think I'm such a Southern belle now, and it's like, you from where? I'm like, well, I live in Jackson now. Man, and then even on the fun side of things, people be like, even when they be tired, like people trying to talk to you, they make them like you there, this and that. I said, baby,
no cap on Mississippi. No cap on Mississippi.
No cap.
No
they
cap
be
on
thinking ain't nothing hidden, but man, Jackson has groomed me into becoming even more of an influential woman and really becoming poised about things. So I tell anybody, Jackson where it's at. But I just hope, the natives, the current natives, just really value their worth here. And to be a native here, people need to take heed to the greatness that we have. But as any little serpent, they gonna always expose your negative and try to make you prey on that.
For sure.
We gonna do better. So we gonna end out on that note. Ahmad, it was such a joy chopping it up with you.
This was lit.
As always. All right, so we down to the farewell part, sad part that I don't like doing. But as always, it was such a pleasure chopping it up with you.
No, thank you for allowing me to have this opportunity to come and talk to you about, what we be going through as teachers. I appreciate it.
Yes, it's always an uplifting spirit when you can sit down and talk with your fellow peers and your people, just... Again, I'm gonna keep putting this out there. A male educator, like you ain't no coach, you ain't doing nothing extra inside. You ain't strictly no.
I'm standing up in the classroom.
No shade to the coaches or nothing.
I love all my coach, colleagues too. Shout out to y'all because y'all got a job that y'all got to do too. So.
And so you moving, you leaving us. Tell us what's next.
Well, I'll be graduating next year. With my master's next year, Lord say the same, and I got some little stuff, behind the scenes, I'm trying to work on. I am going to do my own skincare line for men to post. So,
already.
So I've been doing business plans and critiquing what I want. It's a process if you have a skincare line, you know what I'm saying, because it has to go through FDA, and you have to have everything tested out, and I have to use the products on myself as well. So next year I'm gonna jump smooth since I want out the mud. So out the mud or whatever. So I'm very excited about that. I'm kind of nervous about it, but I always want to do something for our fellas. You know what I'm saying? Because ain't nothing wrong with a man having good skin. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with that. Because ladies really like it. So you keep your skin right and tight or whatever. So I'm definitely working on that. And long term goals, I want to be a consultant for education. I'm going to have my own consulting firm as well within the next 5 to 7 years.
That's some other prayer board.
Yeah, so I really want to do that. And I'm really, just excited because, God just worked so wild. And he's always on time. Because when I was in a point where I was kind of conflicted about, me moving. And, I was having all of these, thoughts in my head about what's next. You know what I'm saying? I was getting kind of freaked out about it, and I was finna back off of it, you know what I'm saying? Because it was the point where, man, I ain't finna move, My daddy here, I got my family here, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of just nerve-wracking. But, I got a lot of stuff up my sleeve within the next year. I do want to have my own consulting firm and all of it, too. So that's all on my little prayer board, my little vision board, and it's gonna come into fruition. So I ain't worried about that.
There you go. Y'all see why I like talking to my. I've been cheesing the whole time, just in awe. We always have some good conversations and things of that nature.
Yeah.
So how can people reach you for any type of anything?
Facebook Ahmad White. Instagram _AHMADDD __. That's my Instagram. So just book with me.
You heard?
Book
Get
with
out.
me.
So as always, that's the end of our podcast or lay table talk today. And as always, if you want to go far in life, go alone. If you scratch that. If you want to go fast in life, go alone. You want to go far, go together. And as always, let's be GOAT today. Peace.
See y'all later.